right. Yeah. This is with part two of this documentary. But it is a very eye-opening documentary. Um, and sad. No, it is sad. But yeah, part two. Let's go.
But, everyone worried.
I'll come back a little.
Doctors around, paramedics, So that's a reality, and I think it got everyone a little tense.
We near the kickoff of this nationwide tour. 8:30. As we near the kickoff of this nationwide tour, it'd be hard to say the feeling here is anything but mixed. These fans behind me are the same hip fans that have seen the band through 12 studio albums, 14 Junos, and hundreds of concerts, but there's one thing they haven't done yet, and that's say goodbye. Chill.
Metallic has been a part of rock and roll like forever. And I knew how impactful that would be and how strong and so unexpected. And he once did mention that he just wanted to take everybody's mind off things. Well, this is gonna do it.
There is a great celebration happening in all of the aspects of the hat in terms of the exacting the crown height, the brim that rolls up a little bit off the face so he's not in shadow. The very playful choices of band and feathers and porcupine quills and wheat. I had two of my favorite Tragically hip song lyrics, Silk Screen into the Lining. It's a small way for me to just say thank you for the many years of enjoyment and inspiration that I found through the music.
It's insane how big this band are in Canada. And I know that that was because it was kind of their thing. But still, it's so crazy that one, how big they are in Canada and not in the rest of the world, but two, also how good the music actually is. How that didn't pop. That's what I mean. It's a funny old world. But yeah, let's go.
I never thought it was actually going to happen. Even by the time we got out to Victoria, I didn't think it was going to happen. And if he'd come to me in the middle of the show and said, I don't think I can do it, I would have put my guitar down and walked off the stage with him in a second.
My bandmates and everybody around me did help me get onto my knees and then onto my feet and then people, we are.
They shot a movie once in our hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Out at that speedway, some kind of elbow But I ain't no movie star, but I can get behind anything. Yes, I can get behind anything.
Such a tune.
Get it out, get it all out. Yeah, stretch that thing. Make it last, make it a last. Listen to the supper bell ring. While the taxi driver likes his rhythm, never like stops. Throws a passion, something just throws him off. Well, sometimes faster it gets, less we need to know. We've got to remember, smarter we get, further it's gonna go. And you blow it high,
Do you know what? I'm glad that they showed this song in particular, because this is the song I've most listened to. Because I'm not gonna lie, like the two songs I go back to with Tragically Hip is Blow a High Dawn, Blow a High Dough, and New Orleans is Sinking. They're the two that my go-to too. So I'm glad that, because I can hear, like, it's good that they picked this song for me personally, because having the setup of what he's gone through to get to this point, and then hearing him go out on stage and sing this, like, and the way he's performing too, having seen him perform, it's all there. Like, yeah. If anything, his voice actually sounds stronger here. Like, and maybe that comes from the fact that he knows it's his last. Like, so he's like literally giving everything. Yeah. But yeah, so far it's a fire performance.
I feel fine. I'm pretty sure it's genuine. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But we'll take it free every time. Yeah, whoever fits her usually gets her. It was the strangest thing. Had we moved so fast into this boxing ring. Wow, sometimes faster we get, the less we need to know. But we got to remember, smarter we get, further we're gonna go.
Victoria, I'll never forget. I wandered to the front of house to find Dr. Perry standing there by himself. And I look at him and he is bawling. He's had this weight on him because ultimately we all turned to him and said, can we do this? And he said yes. So he had been carrying that to that moment. And here it was, and he just lost it. And then I lost it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
what I know. We blow, blow, blow. We blow you. We blow you too. We don't care.
To be in Victoria, when they took those first steps on stage, all of them, and the crowd and the energy in that room is something just never have felt before. And I just felt so happy that we were there, that this was happening, that they get to do this again.
I'll tell you what. And yeah, maybe I am just saying it because I know the kind of backstory to it, but I don't think so. I think that's the best performance I've seen of them. Like, he was just wild, and the band was just so, yeah. The sound of it, just everything about it. I think that's probably one of the best performances I've seen of Bro at High Dope. You could just feel that. You could feel it in, even like it, because it's kind of like the greatest show on earth, because it, even little things become kind of poignant, like the beard guitar, or the bigger guitar player, fatter guitar player. You see him look over at Gord Downey a couple of times and kind of smile, and before you wouldn't really think of anything, but like, given the circumstances around this, that makes that even. Do you know what I mean? It really is the greatest show on earth. This is an experience that these people got, like, especially as well if you have a deep affection, and this band marked parts of your life, and yeah, it's like too much emotion, like, and then a rocking song and him going wild, and yeah, that's a great performance.
I figured out at 10 years old I wanted to be a drummer.
It gets tighter with the air conditioning.
Started to play in my parents' attic with my mom's knitting needles and, other things I could find. But I wasn't really in a band until I was in the hip. It's been the fabric of the life that I've had, I went from high school, I wrote my last exam, I got in a car, my brother dropped me off at the Horseshoe, and we played a gig that night. So I ended my high school career, and I started my professional career in the same day.
Gord Sinclair moved in across the street from me when he was 1 and I was about 2.5. And the day he moved in, we played in a sandbox in his backyard. And we've been playing together almost every day since then in some fashion.
Yeah, I just need to go and check on the puppy. 2 seconds. All right, yeah, sorry about that. Let's go.
We were faux punk rockers together in the 70s and always played in bands together. He kind of said, "You're the bass player," one day in high school.
We were Rick and the Rodents, and there was another band called the Slinks. And the Slinks had a really good frontman, Gord Downey. We gotta get that singer. We gotta pry that singer loose.
How are you?
And we had another drummer who missed the first 3 practices. And I think Gord said, "There's that kid at KC, Johnny Fay. He's apparently a good drummer. Let's call him." band, Gord Downey's best friend was Paul Langlois.
Is that this song?
Paul was going to quit his job at Red Lobster and move to Nashville to become a singer-songwriter.
He wanted to go down there and see how he could maybe make it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll never see, I'll miss you, because we were best friends. And I went to the guys in the hip and said, we should get Paul to join us, have 2 guitars.
I love the band, so it was like, wow, okay, sure, if you like. And then I just chiseled out my role.
It was him, he's not fat.
Learn on the fly.
I just think it was the beard.
So I'm just trying to sort of landing it more in this area, which has a lot more, it's more of a bridge pickup. Can you work with that?
I like it.
Okay. Where are you doing that?
4:45 on the stage.
Okay. And do you have security positions?
Currently, they're there now.
Just there. Okay.
They're there currently. If we need to move them around, there is security in that area.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Rick Wellington, tour security for Tragically Hip. Most of us have worked together for a couple of years now. If something happens on the stage, whatever the case may be, please, all your staff, just pay attention to what they are doing on the floor. The tour will take care of anything like that on the stage.
In addition to the EMS the band has to hire for the venue, there's a special EMS unit on site just for Gord.
Stay where you are, pay attention to the crowd.
The biggest risk was probably more seizures. The seizures are much more likely if you are sleep deprived. They culminated a little bit with a little bit of a break with the lightning storm and during the dressing changes. But I was worried because he was tired.
It doesn't take too much to upset her. And something could clear her.
You think that's such a brave thing to do, on the fact that, like, he would have been told that a seizure is the most likely thing that could go wrong. If anything's going to go wrong, you're probably going to have a seizure, and to still have the balls to get it, because that's an embarrassing thing, and to have the balls to get up and with the risk of that happening, like to get up on stage and sing and then have all the commotion of, I don't mean it's embarrassing because you have the seizure. I mean it's like it becomes embarrassing because people start to feel sorry for you, and it's obviously not what he wants. Do you know what I mean? He wants it to say goodbye, so he doesn't want people feeling sorry for him. But if something like that happened, that is absolutely going to happen, and you've done it in front of a whole load of people that love you, that probably break their heart to see it. But he had that's a very brave thing to put yourself in that kind of situation.
Doesn't take too much to upset her. There's nothing that could clear her up. Just saying one little thing that could make you feel better. Under this morning moon, the reactor's down. I guess for Labor Day, today's the first.
I always had the monitor in front, but I hardly ever used it. Now I need every line.
From across the lake, hey, that's a morning.
So Billy got me 6 teleprompters for this tour. 6 people. Unfortunately.
The sun's a light bulb, and the moon is a mirror. There are times when you can see both the bulb and the mirror. See the bulb and the mirror. That's a morning moon. Sorry.
We would finish a song like Music at Work where, he says music at work 50 times at the end, and he would look at me and say, Billy, what's that one called? And he would write it down.
Lyric teaching by Billy Ray.
Just want to show you the basics. It's just sort of a nightly thing. I've done this my whole career. My dad would have done this on the road all the time. Make sure the shoes are looking good. There was a band in grade 11, the Slinks, and they didn't have a singer. I mean, I really wanted to do it. I wanted to sing. I put on my incredible pants. My neck piece is 2 socks stitched together. And I made a whole bunch of them, different fashion statements, but of course they match my socks. My mom found my lyrics for the band, and okay, you can sing this one, not this one, not this one, this one. I was like, are you kidding? Like, and so it's funny, I can remember it like that, but I was standing there with a plate. I'd just eaten breakfast. I took the plate and threw it in the sink and walked out the door. This is tonight's, I think, eh? Purple. And she had no idea where I was.
Looking good, Hollywood.
And I came back the next day, and nothing was discussed. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
this is my first look at it. Wow, this is absurd. And I just was able to go into music and play and sing whatever the hell I wanted from now on. So my career kind of really started that day. Rick? Are people gonna fall? Scream? Maybe. Yeah. Right? This could have some kind of effect, right?
That's the new hat.
The hat, eh? You like the hat?
Yeah.
Here. All right. Give me a hug. Come on. Feel what it feels like.
Oh my goodness.
It's an incredibly nerve-wracking, it's a scary gig. You know, it's entirely terrifying. Always was, never stopped. So there's a, you know, so yeah, getting my clothes ready, my shoes shined, the leather suits. These are just ways to, you know, I felt cool up there. Felt like this is cool, because I usually was pretty afraid. Thank you.
I suppose, yeah, it's kind of puts that type of thing, like performing like that, and it puts it all into perspective when you're going through something like that. So yeah, it is kind of a liberating thing as well.
It's hard to tuck in with that.
This guy's a little more
form-fitting.
A little more.
Like Tim, man.
Elvis 74. It's okay. I needed to sing. Something I discovered in the last bunch of years was look everybody in the eye. All show. Like never stop doing it. a big note to hit, like a super high note, and I'm going to look you in the eye, and I'm not going to not hit it. You know, it's like, and it made it hittable.
Once you've said, and you know.
Yeah, this is a great documentary. So actually, I said before about my mate who's got cancer. I was thinking about sending this to him. Because this is like, if you're in that situation, this is very inspirational too. Another reason why I'm surprised he's not more known. Because this is a real, like, don't give up on yourself. No matter what. It's one of them stories. But yeah, that's part 2. We'll come back with part 3. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.